August is here, and it is exposing every mistake you made with your hydrangeas this spring and summer. Go look at those plants right now. The blooms are probably fading to that papery tan color. Maybe some of the leaves have gone crispy at the edges. Maybe you're seeing some brown or purple spotting on the foliage. Maybe the whole shrub is drooping in the afternoon heat and looking nothing like the full, colorful plant it was just a few weeks ago. And I know exactly what you are thinking when you look at that. You want to grab the shears and cut it way back to clean it up. You want to throw down some fertilizer to push a little fresh growth before fall gets here. And maybe, just maybe, you have been thinking about digging up that overgrown hydrangea and moving it to a better spot while the ground is still workable. If any of that sounds like you, I need you to stop what you are doing right now. Put the pruning shears down, step away from the fertilizer bag, and leave that shovel exactly where it is in the shed. Because what you do, or don't do, to your hydrangeas in the next 6 to 8 weeks is going to decide whether that shrub is covered in blooms next June, or whether you're standing in your garden next spring, staring at a bunch of healthy green leaves with almost no flowers on them, wondering where it all went wrong. I have been growing hydrangeas for over 25 years. I grow the classic Bigleaf mothheads everyone recognizes. I grow panicle types like Limelight, and I grow Oakleaf hydrangeas that turn this incredible burgundy color every fall. And in all of those years, I have watched even careful, experienced gardeners wipe out an entire bloom cycle because of decisions they made in August. Not winter, not spring, August. The damage happens before a single leaf ever changes color, and you don't find out until it's already too late to undo it. Today I'm walking you through the 5 things you must never do to your hydrangeas after August the 1st. These are not opinions or personal preferences. These are biological realities happening right now, under the soil, in your garden, whether you can see them or not. And once you understand what that plant is actually doing underground this time of year, these mistakes are never going to make sense to you again. Stick around, because mistake number 2 is one that garden centers have been quietly encouraging for years because it sells product. And mistake number 5 catches gardeners off guard every single August because it genuinely feels like the responsible thing to do. You do not want to miss either one. Before I get into this list, drop your hardiness zone down in the comments right now. I read every single one. The timing and the severity of these mistakes shifts depending on your climate and your zone, and I want this to actually apply to your exact yard. Mistake number 1 is cutting into old wood. Look closely at your Bigleaf or Oakleaf hydrangea right now, and you will not see it happening. But the plant is already forming next year's flower buds directly on this year's stems. Here is the consequence. A hard cut into healthy green wood right now does not just tidy up the plant, it physically removes the exact tissue that was about to become next year's flowers. Think of each stem tip like a small factory already building next year's blooms out of sight. Cut the factory off, and there is nothing left to build with. The solution is simple. If you want a deadhead, only remove the faded flower head itself, cutting just above the first strong pair of healthy leaves below it, never deeper into the stem. Here is the part almost nobody tells you. Run your fingers along the stem below your cut point. If you feel a small, slightly swollen node, that is a forming bud, and cutting above it is safe. Cut below it, and you just erased next year's flowers on that entire stem. Mistake number 2 is the one I promised you, the one garden centers quietly encourage, and it is late season feeding. It feels productive to give a tired-looking hydrangea a boost of fertilizer in August, and that is exactly why that $12 bag sells so well on the shelf right now. Here is the consequence. A push of nitrogen this late forces soft, tender new growth at the exact moment your plant should be hardening off and storing energy for next year, and that tender growth is the first thing killed when an early frost hits. The solution is to stop nitrogen feeding after mid-July. If your soil genuinely needs help, use finished compost or a fertilizer that is low in nitrogen and higher in phosphorus and potassium, which supports roots and next year's buds instead of leaves you do not need right now. Tell me honestly in the comments, how many of you already put down a bag of fertilizer this month before watching this? I want to know how common this really is. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button right now. This channel puts out real, Zone-specific gardening content just like this every single week, and it takes about 2 seconds, completely free. My grandmother never once used a sprinkler on her hydrangeas her entire life. She hand-watered the base every few days, slow and deep, and to this day I have never seen blooms as full as hers were every single June. Mistake number 3 is watering overhead in the evening. It feels natural to run a sprinkler in the cooler part of the day after work, but here is the consequence. Leaves that stay wet for more than 4 to 6 hours in warm, humid air create the perfect window for fungal spores, the ones behind problems like Cercospora leaf spot, to germinate and take hold. The solution is to water at the base of the plant, at soil level, and always in the early morning, so any splashed leaves have hours of direct sun to dry out before evening. Mistake number 4 is ignoring the plant once the big blooms fade. This is where I need to be honest with you, because it might sound like I am contradicting what feels obvious. A hydrangea that looks a little rough right now is not a plant you should ignore, but it is also not a plant you should aggressively intervene on. Those two things are not contradictory. Here is the effect of walking away completely. Every healthy leaf still on that plant right now is manufacturing sugars and sending them down into the roots, energy that fuels next spring's growth and next summer's blooms. Late summer humidity also means pests like aphids and spider mites, and diseases like powdery mildew are more active than almost any other time of year, quietly draining energy your plant needs to be storing instead. The solution is light, weekly attention, not heavy intervention. Check both sides of the leaves once a week, remove anything visibly infected, and keep watering consistently through dry stretches without cutting, fertilizing, or disturbing the plant otherwise. Hit that like button right now if this is changing how you're going to treat your hydrangea this month, because every single like tells YouTube to put this in front of more gardeners about to make this exact mistake. Mistake number 5 is the one I warned you about, the one that feels responsible but is not. And it is digging up and moving or dividing a mature hydrangea in August. It feels productive to relocate an overcrowded shrub while the weather is still warm and the ground is workable. Here is the result. August heat already puts a hydrangea under stress and disturbing the root system right now. At the exact moment the plant should be storing energy and forming next year's buds can set that shrub back an entire season, sometimes more. The solution is patience. Wait until autumn once temperatures cool and the plant has finished storing its reserves, or wait until early spring before new growth begins. Either window is dramatically safer than digging into an actively working root system in the middle of August heat. All right, let's run back through all 5 quickly. Never cut into old wood. Only remove the spent bloom just above a leaf pair. Skip the late season nitrogen and lean on compost instead. Water at the base, only in the morning, never overhead in the evening. Give the plant light weekly attention instead of walking away completely. And never dig up or move a mature hydrangea in August heat, wait for cooler weather. Before you go, drop your USDA hardiness zone in the comments so I can give you advice specific to your exact garden. And tell me, which one of these 5 were you about to do this week before watching this? I read every single comment, and someone reading through them tonight might need to hear exactly that. Thank you so genuinely for spending part of your day out here in the garden with me. If this helped you, go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you have not already, and if it truly helped, send the link to just one person you know who grows hydrangeas. You do not even need to write anything, just send it. We upload real, practical gardening content just like this every single week. Next time, I am going to show you how to tell, in under 30 seconds, whether your specific hydrangea blooms on old wood or new wood, so you never have to guess again before you make a single cut. Until then, happy gardening, and we will talk soon.